Welcome to all my new and old subscribers. I really appreciate you joining me for a very no frills, no camera tricks, good run of the mill yoga instruction. So we're going to start on the back, please. So we'll go ahead and find ourselves resting on the back, palms facing up. Let your chin lift a little bit away from your sternum so you have a nice curve in your neck. Rest the heels, rest the backs of the hands, and take a quick body scan to check in with how you feel today. Noticing any areas of discomfort that might need a little extra love, nurturing, and attention. And noticing and acknowledging the parts of the body that feel really good and content today. We don't always have to focus on what's tight and what feels bad. How about focusing on what feels good and what feels really healthy and vibrant and full of life and energy? Turn the corners of your mouth slightly up and really relax any tension away from your face and jaw. And we'll take a moment to rest the warmth of your palms anywhere on your torso, setting an intention for today. And what do you want to cultivate in this time on your mat? Let your intention help guide the effort that you put in. And we're going to take the soles of feet together, knees splay open, and lightly interlace the hands back behind the head. Open your elbows on your inhale. And then when you exhale, we're going to draw the knees in and the elbows in and curl into a little sit up. Try to touch elbows to knees. Then inhale, open, knees, open, elbows. Exhale, we're going to curl in and touch. And inhale, open. You can hover the outer edges of the feet as we wake up a little bit, the hips and the core. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, open. And exhale, curl in and hold. Elbows to shins, shins to elbows. And then keeping your head scooped off the ground, bring your feet on the floor, root through the feet. Ground your lower back with your tailbone curling toward your face. And lift your elbows up, drawing your ribs in. And let your head fall back. Take the arms out into a cactus for a moment. And then scarecrow arms. And then cactus. And then scarecrow. And cactus. And then reach your arms up, stretch your fingertips away from your toes, root through your feet, and lift the hips and pelvis, coming up toward your bridge. Breathing the chest toward the chin, and a little resistance of the back of the head into the mat, just lightly lifting your chin away from the sternum. Breathe your chest up toward the chin, and then exhale, start to lower down and lower your arms down at the same pace until the lower back rests. Then root through your left foot and squeeze your right knee in toward your side rib. And then cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Thread the needle coming into figure 4 pose. Hands are in the left knee crease or the front of the shin. And we'll lightly flex the feet. Have your elbows be soft and traction that left thigh into the interlace of your hands. And press that right inner knee away from your shoulder joint. Rock gently a couple of times, loosening up your hip. And we'll hug the legs a little closer in. We're going to uncross, bring your feet back on the ground, and then press through the feet, lift up the hips a little bit, engage your gluteals, then lay your lower back down gently. And pressing through that right foot, hug your left knee in for a squeeze, then cross your left ankle on top of the right thigh and thread the needle coming into your figure 4. We're going to flex the feet and press that left knee away from your shoulder joint. So you think of that triangular sacrum at the base of the spine, pointing away from your chin toward the front of your mat. And that can, as you press the lower back down, you might feel a deeper opening in the outer left hip. A little rocking side to side might loosen up any tension. Remember to stay soft in your collarbones and in your shoulder joints. And hug the knees in and uncross full happy baby, reaching for your shins, your ankles, or the outside edges of the feet. Soles of feet face the sky. And rock to the right and extend your right heel out straight. And look to the right and touch your right toes to the floor. Then come back through happy baby and we'll rock to the left and extend the left toes out and touch. And back to center one more time to the right and touch. And back to center and to the left and touch. And back to center, release your feet up toward the ceiling. Interlace your hands with the non-habitual finger on top and open your elbows. Roll your toes around, create some circles. And then we're going to extend that left heel out and bring your right thigh toward your body. And then lift your left shoulder and try to bring that left elbow toward that right knee. It doesn't have to touch. And then we're going to switch, soft knees. Try to keep your lower back on the ground. Right elbow toward left knee. And gently switch. Inhale, open. Exhale, switch. Inhale, open. Exhale, switch. Inhale, open. Exhale, switch. Inhale, open. Good. Exhale, switch. Inhale, open. Both feet up. Open your legs out to a V. Flex your feet. Bring your soles of feet together. Hover. Press your feet together into prayer feet. And squeeze your knees in. And bring your feet on the ground. Then press through the feet. Lift up the hips again. Keeping your elbows open. Breathe the chest toward the chin on the inhale. Exhale, roll down upper back, middle back, lower back, and then release and hug your knees in. We're going to cross either ankle on top and gently roll right up. Roll over the knees and make your way into a tabletop position. We're going to find ourselves on all fours with toes tucked underneath. Send the hips toward the heels. Stretch your hands forward. Come up to tented fingers. Then lift your belly and slide your right foot through, right between the hands. Right knee is over the heel. Keep those back toes tucked. We're going to interlace the hands on top of that right thigh. Drop the tail and lift up tall through the crown of the head. Lifting up tall right through the crown. If it's available, reach your arms right up overhead. Crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Draw your ribs in. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, release your hands to frame that front foot. And then from there, bring your nose towards your right knee. Let your left hip point roll forward. Find the end of your exhale. And then let's send the hips back. So we're going to send the hips back. Bring your left hip about over the knee joint. Bring your left hip about over the knee joint, or it can be a little bit behind. Don't overdo. So we want to find a position where that right leg can be pretty straight, but we're not locking or hyperextending that right knee. Now you can stay upright or you can fold a little bit, walking your hands to frame that right ankle and melt your forehead toward that right shin into an Ardha Hanumanasana. Left rib wraps toward the right rib. Then we're going to glide through on the inhale, scissor the inner thighs apart, look up, exhale, slide back. Inhale forward and exhale back. And inhale forward, lift your left thigh. Now straighten your right leg, turn your right toes in, your right heel out into your wide-legged stance. Wag the tail. And then walk your hands toward the back of your mat. Turn your left toes toward the back of your mat. Swing your right heel over the toes. Drop your right knee down. Keep the back toes tucked. Walk your hands up onto your left thigh. Find your stability. Really knit that belly in toward the spine. And when you feel stable, reach your arms up into a little back bend. Biceps hug toward the ears. We're going to lift the base of the skull on the inhale, look up. And then exhale, hands frame that front foot. Now gather your belly and send your hips back. Right hip is about over the knee or slightly beyond. Left toes curl toward the face. Left head of the thigh bone plugs into the hip. Now you can stay upright again or you fold over that left leg, Ardha Hanumanasana. And we're going to inhale, glide through, inner thighs scissor apart, look up. Exhale, straighten that front leg and fold. You can keep your hands in the same place the whole time. That's an interesting challenge on the inhale. Inner thighs scissor apart. Exhale, belly in and fold. Inhale, we're going to glide through and then lift your right knee. Start to straighten that left leg. Turn your left toes in, your left heel out. Find your wide-legged stance. Now let's take our left fingertips or palm right underneath your chest. And then take your right hand on your back and look to the right. Finding an inhale there. Exhale, release. Replace that left hand with your right hand. We're going to turn left hand to the back. to the sacrum, look to the left. Wrap your right rib toward the left rib, and we'll inhale, and we'll exhale. Go ahead and release. And then walk your hands towards your right foot. Turn your right toes to point straight ahead, and we're going to step back to a downward dog. Pedaling your feet. Lifting the sitting bones high. Finding that length of your spine all the way up through the lower back toward the ceiling. And eventually the heels might drop down. Then walk your hands towards your toes. Take a forward fold. Let your head go. You can take your hands onto your lower back for a little press. Or you could interlace the fingers and peel the arms away. Let the head hang. Shake your head, yes. And then release your hands down in front of your feet and walk your hands back. We're coming slowly into a plank pose. Lower all the way down, chaturanga. Take your feet flat. Find a little cobra pose, back bend on your inhale. And then exhale, come back to child's pose. Knees wide, big toes touch. Melt your forehead down. Child's pose. Couple breaths, wriggling the hips toward the heels and relaxing your arms and upper body. From child's pose, drop the tail, gather the belly, and come up to sit on your heels. We're going to scooch over to the right. Now, your knees are pointing toward the front of your mat. Lay your left ankle in your right arch of your foot. Knees are pointing straight ahead. Walk your hands over to the right and just turn, look right. Little twist, sitting up tall. Left rib to right rib. Inhale. Exhale, walk your hands to frame your torso. And then we're lifting the knees. We're going to walk the feet forward. And then feet are hip width distance, palms behind you, fingertips face your heels. Lift up into reverse table, looking up on the inhale. Exhale, melt the hips down, soften the sitting bones toward the floor. And then we're going to gather those heels toward your right sitting bone. Lay your right ankle in the arch of that left foot and then turn. Sitting up really tall, looking over the left shoulder. Good. Keeping your shoulders right on the back. When you exhale, you pull the belly in. And then we'll come back around. Take your hands back behind you, lift your knees, and extend your legs out straight. And flex your feet. Take your fingertips to point away from your heels. Point your toes, draw your belly in, bring your chest toward the chin. And then reach forward, press to the tops of the feet or the tops of the ankles. And then flexing your feet, draw your belly in, and we'll come all the way down. Find yourself on the back and feel free to grab some clothing, socks, or blankets if you feel chilly. Starting to get pretty cold down here. So, put my sweater on. So we're going to come on to your back with your feet mat width distance apart for this constructive rest. And rest your hands on your body. And so we're going to totally rest the spine, let the floor support you. Hopefully coming into a space of a deeper clarity, a deeper relaxation, and letting everything be as it is. And finding a real sense of tenderness and compassion for yourself, for all of your innate abilities, for whatever you perceive to be lacking. Try to connect to a sense of acceptance with whatever is right now, just for a few moments. Let the sides of the neck and shoulders be light and soft, and that softness melting down through the whole body into the toes. And start to windshield wiper your knees side to side. Can you invite gratitude for anything at all today that you have to be grateful for, and let that uplift your spirit and your energy field? Take a moment to pause with the knees on the right hand side. Gently looking to the left. Then swing the knees to the left. Take a pause with the knees over on that left-hand side and look to the right. Soft jaw. And take the knees right back to center and hug the knees in for a little squeeze. Take your time when you're ready to roll slowly to either side. In your own time, press up and we'll meet in an upright seat. Thank you for joining me today. Let's take the hands right on the belly and just feel the warmth of the hands in the belly. Thanking yourself for showing up. And I'm wishing you joy, peace, health, strength, courage, and always trust on the journey. Namaste. Great job getting on your mat today. If you can like, share, and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate that. And hit that super thanks button. That makes me really happy. And I look forward to our next practice together. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.